Alright, the video should be recording right now. Let me just get rid of this ad right here. You'll be seeing a lot of these, unfortunately. But yeah, the video should be recording. It is currently 12:52 in the morning where I'm at. I was supposed to record this days ago, but I procrastinated. But as they say, c'est la vie. But yeah, we're just gonna jump into it. I'm gonna be continuing the design rankings for the Marvel Rivals characters, but this time this will be the last video. I'm gonna try to get through all these characters in a timely manner because I don't want to be recording for like half an hour and then spend double that time editing the video. That stuff takes time, surprisingly. But yeah, we're gonna get right into it. Spider-Man, Spidey or Peter Parker, whatever you want to call him. He's going straight into cool tier, but I think, yeah, he's going right here. I know a lot of people aren't the biggest fan of Spidey's design in this game and recent designs for Spider-Man in some pieces of media like the like the PlayStation Spider-Man games. I know some people like the design for Spidey in those games and some people don't like him because it's over designed. I can see why people think Spidey in this game is over designed in some aspects. I personally don't think he's over designed. I think there's just enough on his costume to not feel busy. Plus, this feels like something Peter would wear like once he's gotten more sorry, I almost burped. But I think this is a good design for Peter, especially if he's like more used to being Spider-Man and all that jazz. Plus, this is an older Peter Parker. He's not like 15. This is a Peter Parker who's at least in his 20s. So at this point, I can see a Peter Parker making a costume like this and wearing it consistently, kind of like how in the PlayStation games, Spider-Man's advanced suit, Peter's advanced suit was basically just an upgraded version of his other suit. Plus, it would make sense like he has access to more tech. His suit would be more advanced in some ways, which I kind of like. Plus, I also like it when his Spider-Man costume has like soles at the bottom of his feet, which would make a lot more sense because he does a lot of sliding and he sometimes he has to like stomp his feet into the ground to stop vehicles. It makes way more sense that his shoes, I guess, will have soles in them to not get damaged when he's stopping vehicles and whatnot, or just sliding on concrete. But yeah, Peter's gonna go into the cool tier. It's not like an amazing or spectacular design, which really breaks my heart because if his design was spectacular, it would fit right in this tier, so I could make the spectacular Spider-Man joke. But yeah. Moving on, Squirrel Girl or Doreen Green. She, yeah, she's gonna go in the cool tier. It's not a bad design for Doreen, and compared to her comic book design, I'm like 50-50 on it because I'm not a big fan of Squirrel Girl. And no, before anyone makes any assumptions, like I knew who she was long before this game was even out, and even beforehand, I didn't really like her design all that much. I will say this though, I do like the fact that she's a lot more chunky, I guess, in terms of design, which is fitting because squirrels aren't exactly skinny. Okay, they're kind of skinny, but they're also kind of chunky at the same time. So I kind of like how she has like a little more weight on her design wise, and I do like the fact that her jacket has like acorn shells or whatever you want to call them on her sleeves. I think that's really cool. Like despite the fact that her outfit is mostly browns and oranges, it manages to look appealing and not look like an eyesore to look at. But yeah, she's going into the cool tier. Also, if you watch the last two videos, you know I do mention like special effects in like the effects on the characters for some of their abilities, and that which is factored into the design as well as like their physical appearance. I didn't really mention talk about much for Spidey because this is just a really solid Spider-Man design. Like he has webs, not much for me to talk about in terms of that. His animations are cool, just a really good Spidey design. It's not a lot for me to say. Just thought I'd clarify that before someone points that out in the comment section, which no one's gonna do that because, like I said, no one watches. Like I said, no one watches these videos. But for Doreen, in terms of her special effects, there's not much to talk about. A lot of it's just well, okay. The one cool thing about her in terms of like just visual design when in gameplay is the fact that like, depending on certain actions, you'll see like a little pop up near Tippy Toe's head, letting you know that she's communicating with Doreen. That's cute. And I do like that, and I do like how some of her animations incorporates the squirrels. Like when she throws out her stun acorn that stuns people, you see like a group of squirrels like holding the person in place with like their sticks and shields. I think that's really cool. And Squirrel Stampede is just visually, it's just an alright design. I'm sorry if I paused random. I had to make sure my microphone wasn't muted. I would have been angry as heck if it was. But yeah, Doreen is just she just has a cool design. It's not better like all these characters up here. I think they have a better design than Doreen. But the characters down here, mainly like these four, I think they would have a better design than Doreen if a few things were tweaked about their design. But overall, I think Doreen has a pretty cool design in Marvel Rivals. But next up is Star Lord or Peter Quill. He's gonna go into the okay. He's gonna go into yeah, just cool tier also. It's I don't really have a lot to say about Star Lord from a design standpoint. Outfit, like, okay, I will say this: I do like the outfit that Star Lord has in this game. It's like I don't say it's Guardians of the Galaxy inspired, but it kind of is with him like having the jacket. But it's clear that they use more stuff from the comics with him having like the Guardian symbol on his chest. I almost said the Nova Corps symbol, but I don't think that's not what I'm thinking of. I'm getting the two mixed up, unless I am getting them mixed up and I'm wrong. Correct me if anyone feels like commenting on this mediocre video. But I mean, I think Star Lord just has a pretty cool design. I like the bits of armoring. I like the fact that his outfit has some form of armoring, which would make sense because, like, listen, I don't hate designs where it's just like the character wears nothing but cloth, but it's kind of hard to believe that this character is fighting in space and they don't have any form of armor. You're in space. People have laser weapons. You should have some form of armor just in case. That's just a minor nitpick, but that's a minor nitpick with some character designs when they're in space 24/7. But I do like this design for Stoller. I like the helmet. I like the jacket. The jacket's the main reason I like the outfit. That's like where your attention is gonna be drawn to the most because it's the helmet, not the helmet, mask. Got mixed up. The mask, the guns, and the jacket is where your attention is gonna be drawn to because the jacket's like the main thing that stands out. It's a bright, not a bright blue, but it stands out amongst his outfit, which is like mostly black and silverish, if I'm remembering correctly. Because I'm going off memory with some of these designs and I play this game almost every day. Well, not every day, but like every throughout the week whenever I can. So I remember most designs pretty darn well. If I but okay, I'm gonna stop talking about that. Point is, back on topic. Point is, he's a pretty cool design. I like his base. I like his alpha in this game. I think it's fitting for the character. Effects wise, I don't really have much to say. It's just blue lasers being shot out of his guns. When he does his ultimate, the lasers get more intense, which is pretty cool. Also unrelated, but I really hate when they call Star Lord. I really hate whenever media adapts Star Lord and they say, "Oh, look, his elemental guns," and they don't do anything special with the guns. They just shoot basic lasers or basic plasma. It's like you have the opportunity to do something really, really cool with his elemental guns, and the most creative thing you could think of is him shooting plasma or a laser. Like, come on. Like they could. I think they could have done something more. Star Lord's elemental guns, like maybe they could shoot lightning or fire or something, and each element does a different thing or has a different stats effect. I think that'd be cool, but you know, that's neither here nor there. Moving on, we have Storm or Roro. Mm, yeah. Yeah, she's just right behind Penny. Aurora, Storm. I'm gonna call her Storm. I'm not calling her Aurora the entire time. I'm gonna have a hard time saying that. Storm has a pretty cool design in this game. Like obviously she looks like Storm from like design wise. Like her costume has like the classic like cape that's attached to that's like like attached near her wrist and on her back. I don't know how to. I know it's a cape. I'm trying to think, but I know there's like a proper name for that, but I can't think of it right now. Point is, this is a pretty cool design for Storm. I don't have much to say on it. The only, but I do like her. Like, okay, I know I should. I know it's. I said in the last video I wouldn't mention the character's other costumes, but I do like Storm's other costumes way more. Mainly her Ultimate Wind Rider skin. That's my favorite skin for Storm. But in this game, Storm's default outfit, I don't like it all that much. And even with the Avery Breeze skin, that like her all white outfit, I'm like neutral about that outfit. Also, it's just I don't know why her default outfit isn't bad. It's just it's not all right either, but it's just cool. Like it looks cool, but it's not like something I look at and go, "Wow." Actually, you know what? Hmm. I'm sort of realizing I don't like Storm's outfit all that much in the skin. The more I think about it, it's not even bad or anything, but it's just it doesn't really do anything for me compared to the other designs. Yeah, the more I think about it, I don't hate her outfit. It's just cool to me. It just barely makes it into the cool tier. I'm starting to realize it the more I think about her design. I think her abilities carry her. Like when she does her like powered up state, I think that carries her, especially when she's in her lighting state, her ultimate. Actually, no, that's actually underwhelming. Her ultimate and her powered up state are the only things that are keeping her in the cool tier because everything else is just kind of meh. Man, that really sucks because she's a cool character. Mainly because of, well, not mainly because she controls the weather, but like, huh, wow, she's just kind of meh for me. That sucks. And it's also kind of funny how her husband is in a spectacular tier, but she couldn't even, but she barely makes it into the cool tier. That's man, that sucks. But I'm moving on to Frank Castle or the Punisher. Yeah, I don't like his design all that much. Him having the skull painted on his face was just not it for me personally in terms of design. Not to mention, I know why his tech is the way it is in this game. How you can just summon a turret, miniguns, rockets, and he can turn his rifle into a shotgun and all their stuff. I personally don't like it visually on Punisher all that much. Like the main appeal for a Punisher for a lot of people is the fact that he's just a regular guy with guns who happens to live in a world full of superheroes, but he does what needs to be done. Except for he never actually gets the job done because he's never killed anyone relevant to the Marvel universe. You could fight me on that. But but yeah, like if I but like hmm. Yeah, he's just all right for me. Just design wise, like he looks like the Punisher, but I don't like the this design all that much. Funny enough, I actually like his Thunderbolt skin in this game way more. I think that's a better design than his default outfit one, which is funny because that Thunderbolt skin isn't super accurate to the comic book it's from, but visually I like that way more. And I think a big part of that is just due to the fact that it's just the face paint on Punisher. I think that he doesn't look cool with it, and his outfit isn't really black. It's like a light. It's like a really light shade of black. It's not like a dark shade of black, which is like what I expect from a Punisher design. But maybe I'm tripping. But yeah, he just has an all right design. Frank just has an all right design in this game for me. Moving on to Thor, and his design in this game is yeah, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Despite the fact that he's one of my main tanks in this game, I say in quotation marks because I don't play him all that much. Like all I'm gonna say is this: if you're gonna play Thor in rank, you better hope to God that your healers are on point because you will blow up within a nanosecond the moment the enemy team looks at you for like any amount of time. But rank grievances aside, Thor just has an all right design in this game, in my opinion. Like out of all the characters here, I think he has the best design. Out of all the people here, there's not much competition because you know I don't really hate these designs. I think they're all just equally good, or just all right, I should say. The only thing that's holding Thor back in this hit, the only thing that holds Thor's back and that hold I can't speak. The only thing that holds this design back for me is the fact that his arms are covered in armor, which I'm not bothered by. Like it makes sense for a warrior character to wear some form of armor, but I feel like it's a little too much. Plus, it just jump. His design looks slightly confusing. I might sound crazy for saying this. Like I can tell what I'm looking at, but it feels like they threw a lot of stuff at the wall and to see what stick. Like first, like one example is this: he doesn't have a cape. I really wish he had his cape. Number two, he feels too covered, and what I mean by that is just like I like it. I like Thor's design when his arms are exposed and shown. Now I know there are some people out there who do like his design from what was that called? Not his Ragnarok Rebirth design. I'm probably getting that mixed up, but y'all know the design of Thor where he has like the silver armor on his like arms and legs. That's not a bad design for Thor, but I do like it better when Thor's arms are exposed as opposed to being covered up 24/7. That's like my main grievance with the design, and plus like just the shirt thing he's wearing. I don't like it all that much. Like, but the main thing that's keeping him like above everyone else in this tier is just the effects and visibility. So when he's in his runaway king state, I like how his hair floats up like he's going Super Saiyan. I like how he's like how Mjolnir's floating around him while he's throwing lightning at people, and his ultimate is pretty cool. Sorry if you could hear that. I just got done eating. Yeah, but oof, oh yeah, yeah, that food's coming back to haunt me. But yeah, Thor is just all right in this game for me. Nothing really special. His other skins are cool though. You're gonna hear me say that a lot for some of these characters, and I've probably said that a couple of times in the previous videos maybe. But I'm moving on to Venom or Eddie and his other. Uh, yeah, just a pretty cool design. Now you might be thinking, hey, wait a minute, why isn't it spectacular or amazing? One small gripe with this design, and ever since it was pointed out to me, I can't help but notice it, and it drives me nuts. I'm sure some of you, I'm sure some of you heard of the YouTuber Gazelle Mendoza, and he made a really interesting video talking about the design of like the symbol on Venom's chest and how it changes a lot. Um, you, so the symbol of Venom's chest in this game, that's not his symbol. That was originally Matt Gargan. If you know anything about Matt Gargan, he's Scorpion, and at some point he was Venom for a little bit. And when he was Venom, he had that spider symbol on his chest, with the arms going above the shoulder and being spread out. Which I'm gonna preface this. That's a that I really wish I could get rid of that ad. Hold up. Okay, good. I just noticed that was in the corner. But if you know anything about wait, what was I saying? Right, yeah. It don't get me wrong. It's a good design. Like this isn't a bad design for Venom. It's pretty cool. My only gripe is that spider symbol, and when Godzilla Mendoza pointed that out, that hey, look, a lot of Venom designs have the whole this arms going over the shoulder thing. It made the symbol not cool because if every Venom had it, it was no longer unique to a character. And I do like the idea of each Venom having their own unique spider symbol, as opposed to just being copy and pasted, because then it doesn't feel special. Like, don't get me wrong, Venom this game is cool visually, like size wise, he looks like Venom, even if he's a little big than he's normally supposed to be. Like he looks cool. Venom looks cool in this game. His attacks, his abilities visually are cool looking. Sound effects wise, they sound amazing. His ultimate is just I wouldn't say peak, but I do love it how unique it is because it could have first like gone for something basic like holding a bunch of enemies in place of a bunch of symbiotes, but no, they just went with the route of making him turn into a giant death trap. That's cool. Plus, Steve Blum does a great job voicing Venom in this game, which I would have never noticed. But then again, he's voiced Killer Croc before, and he does a great job voicing that character in the Arkham games. But yeah, Venom's just in the cool tier. If his spider logo was actually no, here's what they could have done. If they want this design to be like peak for it to be spectacular, like Black Panther's design in my opinion, or even amazing, make the spider logo the normal spider logo for Venom, like the arms going underneath the shoulder, and make it to where he doesn't have toes and he has like regular. He has like the sock look. I don't know how to describe it, but if you look at older Venom comics, you would know that Venom doesn't have toes like he does in the newer comics. If they done that, I would have put him in. I would have put him in the spectacular tier, but he's only in the cool tier. Is a cool design. Don't get me wrong. Hold up. Not. Hold. Let me fix this. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. I think out of everyone in the cool tier, he just barely he could barely break into the amazing tier if he had like the right logo. Everyone else, not everyone else, but like, yeah, I think Venom has the best design in cool tier, but I might change with the rest of the roster. But moving on, we got the Winter Soldier or Bucky, as most people know him, or the server admin if you play Rivals. Um, yeah, I'll put him right next to his girlfriend or not girlfriend. I don't know if Bucky and Natasha are dating each other in the comic books as of right now. I don't know if they are or not. But Bucky has a pretty cool design in my opinion. Although most people, when they think of Bucky, they probably think of the Winter Soldier design from Captain America and the Winter Soldier, which is my favorite design for Bucky. Only small issue: why is the glove on his metal arm and not his regular hand? Why? That's really stupid. Moving on. But Bucky has a pretty cool design in this game. I like the like short vest jacket thing he got going on. I think that looks cool. Like he just looks cool in this game. That's all I gotta say. Only issue is the fact that like I saw a video of someone roasting Bucky and mentioning the fact that like he has the haircut of like a 2000s older teenager. Like he has a haircut of a 2000s character, but he's like the older brother to a teenage character from like a Disney movie. I can't remember the video, but when the person in the video said that, I couldn't help but think about that. I'm like, yeah, they're right. He does have the haircut of like of an older brother from a 2000s teen from 2000s Disney movie. But random YouTube videos aside, Bucky just looks cool. His gun looks cool. His ultimate looks cool. It's one that everyone agrees is the best one in the game from a sound from just audio alone. armed and dangerous, followed up by him saying again every 2 seconds because people just don't know how to avoid it for some reason, no matter what. I would have put him like, mm, actually, hold up, yeah, yeah, Bucky's right there. I think Bucky's he would be like number two. I think, but I think the only thing that holds his design back, in my opinion, it's the mask. I don't really like it. It looks like a rebreather. That's what throws me off. And that's about it, honestly. Sorry. Whew. Sorry about that. That food coming back to haunt me while I'm recording videos. This is tragic. And it's now 1:13 in the morning. That sucks. I'm not editing this video tonight. I know that much. Editing table, cut this out whenever you get the chance. He most likely not going to do that because I don't know how to do that yet. That was pointless of me saying that. Moving on, we got Logan, or Wolverine, but I'm gonna call him Logan mostly. We're gonna put him in the, yeah. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. As much as I like Logan in this game, and him being one of my main DPS that I play whenever I get to play DPS, he just has an all right base design. Like the yellow and blue jacket is nice to let you know that hey, his base it's like supposed to be reminiscent of his classic costume, but I just can't see Logan wearing that. If I'm being real for you, like first of all, that's shoulder pads. Number one, that just looks goofy. Number two, it's like the weird. I don't know why, but NetEase Games has a weird thing with giving characters jackets, but then making the sleeves either really short or just not long enough for some of the characters. I don't know why, but they do that a lot for some of the designs. But Logan, like his like okay, if they got rid of his jacket, this would be a pretty cool design. And they got to change his boots. Like if they got rid of his jacket, made it to where like he just had his tank top on underneath and made his boots black, he have a pretty cool design. I'm never gonna lie to you because his base design is just not it because of the jacket. It's mainly the jacket and his shoes because the shoes are just not it. They should have just made them normal boots and not that weird white and blue color. But ignoring his, jacket and boots and looking at the effects of his abilities, which aren't many, I think they're pretty darn cool. Like when he has like Max Berserker Rage and his hair spikes up and he has like that red aura around him and his claws are like he's super heated. That looks pretty darn cool. And that's about it. He just looks cool in this game, minus the jacket and the boots, which knock him down. But overall, he looks pretty cool. Moving on to Mr. Fantastic or Reed Richards, and I'm gonna do all the Fantastic Four at the same time. So we got Reed Richards, Sue Storm, Johnny Storm, and Ben Grimm, Mr. Fantastic, Invisible Woman, the Human Torch, and the Thing. Mr. Fantastic, he goes into the hold up. He goes into the yeah. I'm just gonna put him here. He goes here in the cool tier. Oh, my computer's slowing down. There we go. Sue goes into the yeah. She also goes here right next to her husband. Honestly, her younger brother goes here, and Ben goes yeah. He just goes here. Okay, so Reed Richards, he's in the cool tier. He looks pretty darn cool. Like, okay, I'm gonna talk about all their outfits because they're relatively the same. I kind of like the designs, though I will agree it is a little over designed in some cases because it feels like there's a lot going on design wise. But it's not bad for all of them. I think it looks great. I think Ben benefits the most from it because he's just wearing shorts, so it looks good on him. Everyone else, it looks good. Don't get me wrong, but it does feel over designed in some areas on all of them. So outfit wise, pretty darn good. Ability wise, like the effects and their abilities, Johnny and the Invisible Woman are definitely the standouts, including Reed Richards to an extent, but mainly Susan and Johnny. Johnny having fire powers being the first character added to the game with like predominantly fire based abilities looks really great, especially during Supernova. And I also like the little detail that if you pop Supernova right next to an enemy, they take damage, which means that if you want to, you could just kill someone and pop your ultimate, which would count as a solo ult, but you didn't do anything other than pop and get, which is funny. But yeah, Johnny looks cool in this game visually, even though he sucks now. Invisible Woman, all the effects on her abilities are just nice to look at. If I'm being real with you, like when she's invisible, I like the like ripple effect throughout her body. Her barrier has the same thing going on. Her push and pull have similar things going on. I just like the ripple effect on all of her abilities. I like it a lot. especially her barrier. I mean, not her barrier. Her ultimate, her invisible boundary. But in terms of effects, I think Reed Rich. Wait, actually, no. Hold up. There we go. In terms of effects and Reed Richards' abilities, they're just mainly him stretch again. Visually, they're all just amazing to look at. His ultimate, pretty darn cool to look at. His inflated state, also just visually fun to look at. And I'm not, and no, I'm not making the One Piece jokes that we've run that joke into the ground already, everyone. And I can't forget his fridge state where he just becomes a pop tart. That looks cool, also. So yeah, that's what yeah, Susan, Johnny, and Reed. They're all in the cool tier based off their effects. The costume is kind of not hit or miss, it's just all right. But last but not least, Ben Grimm, my other tank main. He's the lowest ranked member, which breaks my heart because he's my favorite member of the Fantastic Four. But yeah, he doesn't really have a lot going on. Like visually, he just punches, runs forward, or jumps forward in the most goofy animation they could have made for him. That goofy ass animation. But yeah, like the only thing about him that's visually distinct is the fact that he glows when you try to knock him around, which is like highlighting the fact that you can knock him around because he has like his passive ability of Undying Will and his Stone Haymaker, which his right hand glows and it makes a satisfying sound. Like that is a satisfying sound, and it's ultimate satisfying to land. Good looking kills with it, and like any against a competent team, then them niggas will not let anyone die to that ultimate. So not mentioning competitive viability, but just overall Ben is just cool, but not like in the same tier as like Johnny or Reed or Sue, because I think those characters look cooler than him. Sadly, next up, Emma Frost, the one known for having nobody mind control. She goes, hmm, yeah, yeah, I'll put her there. Like visually, I know some people complain about the fact that Emma Frost is a little too big compared to her comic book counterpart, where she's a lot more slimmer while being still tall for a woman at first, while still being a tall lady. I think this is still a good design for Emma Frost. Like her short hair, they managed to make the short hair look good on Emma Frost and not look bad. Her being a little thicker in certain places, they managed to make that look good without it looking awkward. But yeah, she just has a cool design, honestly. I don't have a lot to say visually. Her diamond form is very well animated. I like the way it looks. Her ultimate is just meh. If I'm being honest with you. Okay, okay. If I'm gonna be completely honest, I'm not saying I'm not like I'm going in like I'm also just to keep in mind. Oh, sorry, I almost burped again. I'm working a lot of designs. Like physicality will be mentioned for some of the designs, but I'm going in now with the intentions like, ooh, Awu got big boobies. They're S tier. I'm not going in with that mindset because if that was the case, some characters would be way too high. Like if I went off that ranking, low Sue Storm be S tier just because of her badonkadonk. But no, we're not doing that. We're professionals here. And Emma just has a cool design. I don't really have a lot to say about her. If you couldn't tell, I'm getting sleepy. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning for me. It's about to be 1:30 soon. Emma just has a cool design. It's not bad. Personally, I would have like gone with the concept art we got for a while ago. If y'all remember it, if I find it, I'll put it on screen. If I don't find it, that's because editing table got lazy. The lazy bastard. But moving on to Ultron. Hot take. Hold up. I think this is an amazing design for Ultron. They managed to give him pupils without giving him pupils because every character in this game has pupils, even if their eyes are meant to be one solid color. Except for Venom, he doesn't count. He doesn't have pupils. We don't talk about him. And Moon Knight doesn't count because he's wearing a mask 24/7. But and I think wait okay, staying focused. But I think Ultron has a really good design, and this is probably one of the best designs for Ultron in my opinion. He's sleek. He looks menacing with his silhouette. He has the right face and doesn't have lips. I'm looking at you, MCU, for giving Ultron lips for no reason. The effects on his abilities are kind of meh, like Encephalo Ray, basic burning energy beam, but it looks cool the way his arm shifts around. His ultimate, where he calls in his posse to shoot down on the enemy team, looks great. But the main reasoning I'm putting him in the amazing tier, and I'm not even joking you, slightly joking, is his melee animation. Him turning his arm into an energy sword from Halo for that is just cool looking. Okay, that's just cool looking. No matter what you tell me. But yeah, Like this is like one of the few characters where he doesn't have a lot going on, but it's just a really, really good design. Like I really like his design in this game. It's definitely one of my favorites for Ultron, like ever in terms of designs he's had in both movies, comics, and games. This is his best one in my opinion. Moving on to Jean Grey or Phoenix. Uh, okay, this might be a hot take. I don't think Jean. Yeah, actually, no, I think yeah. This is a okay. This might be a hot. Wait, hold up. There we go. This might be a hot take, but I don't really like Jean's design all that much. And my main issue with her design is this: it's like a weird mix of like regular looking material and organic material, which looks weird. I don't know why they did that. It's like they couldn't just give her like a regular cloth like costume. They thought, no, we got to make it look like organic. I don't know why it looks organic. I don't know how to explain it other than the fact that like the chest area of her costume throws me off. The gloves, the boots look pretty darn cool. The mask, head, face thing, it's all right. Physically, she has the red hair. I wish she had her freckles though. I wish they gave her freckles like they did for the menu, not the menu screen, but I wish they gave her freckles like she had in some artwork that they showed for her. But I think the main reason I don't like her design all that much is that like she has like the whole, you know, that thing that like cloth she wraps around her waist that's on many of her designs. That's on this design, but it's like hooked onto the outfit as opposed to being actual cloth that's wrapped around her waist, which is just confusing. Like, why didn't you just make it an actual cloth thing and not just something that hooks in? That's the more I think about her like costume, the more I don't like it. Her effects though, she's carried by her effects. If she didn't have good effects, she'd be in the just alright tier. But because she has really good effects, she's in the cool tier. Her Phoenix Shift, that teleporting, that flying move she has, her primary fire, her melee attack, her ultimate, all of that is phenomenal stuff. Like her ultimate, like all of that are phenomenal stuff. It's well animated, and her melee animation is probably one of my favorites in the game because she just has the Phoenix Force attacks you like a stand user from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. That's really cool. But yeah, effects can't really. And I know someone might say like, oh, but you put Magneto in at the top of cool tier based off effects alone. True, but his base design is still really good. It's not like doesn't leave me confused and just kerfuffled with Jean's design. This design leaves me confused looking at it. This design, I'm like, it's not as I this design. I'm not confused looking at because I'm like, yeah, that's Magneto. It looks cool. It doesn't look like they did some random stuff out of nowhere. Like, hey, let's make Jean's outfit look organic, but also not at the same time. Like, what the hell were they doing? But that's just my opinion. Maybe someone might feel differently about her. But moving on, Eric Brooks, aka Blade. Yeah, I can live with that. His two swords look cool. His shotgun looks cool. He has cornrows. They didn't give him the comb over dreads. Thank Christ, because I would have been angry if they gave him those comb over dreads, the dreads that no one has in real life. Like, when's the last name one time you saw a nigga wearing those regs? Just like be real for me. When's the last time you saw a nigga having comb over dreads like they gave Miles in that PS5 Spider-Man game? But back on topic, Blade just looks cool in this game. Like this is a really good design for Blade. Only gripe is this: I really wish they made his sleeves longer and gave him his gloves. Basically, his design from the Wesley Snipe Blade movie, which I know that's not his a natural com. It is a comic book design, but that design inspired his design in the comic books later on. If I remember correctly, I could be wrong. But yeah, I think Blade just has a pretty cool design in this game. His ultimate is cool. I don't think we need to discuss that. His his Bloodline Awakening mode is also cool. Oh, I forgot. I forgot to say this. I do like the fact that when you pop his ultimate, you get his theme plays while it's doing that. Like Netty's games really went out of the way to make Blade really really cool looking, but not fun to play because Lord have mercy, like there's a reason why he's getting like ever since they released him, they had to buff this dude each season just to make him viable. Not viable, just to make him better. Speaking of buffs, they're buffing Ultron finally. I might play him because I tried playing him a few days ago. Man, he sucks. He really sucks. But they're finally buffing him. He can use two drones, like people have been saying for months now. But moving on, Angela. Uh, hmm. Thinking with my brain, a pretty cool character design. Thinking with my other third leg, she'd be an S tier. But we're being professionals here. If I'm being honest with you, this might seem like a hot take, but I think design wise, she's just above Psylocke. If my computer doesn't freeze up, okay, there we go. She's just above Psylocke in terms of design. I don't hate Angel's design in this game. Like, I think she has a really good design. It's a really cool design, but compared to the other characters, I look. Okay, I'm tripping. I thought I saw like a spider for a second. I was about to start yelling. Okay, I gotta go to sleep soon. I'm going insane trying to record this video. I'm seeing stuff, but yeah, Angel just has a pretty cool design. I like her hair. Physically, she looks like a warrior goddess. I like the fact that they gave her scars, which I think is neat. Not enough characters in fiction have scars to show that they're battle hardened. They just not, I don't know about some people think giving characters scars will makes them look unattractive. I'm like, no. Like, do you know how many people simp for Bucky and he's missing an arm? Then again, he has a metal arm, but there are people out there who simp for this guy, despite the fact that he's missing an entire limb. But wait, I think Angela's also missing an entire limb, or I could be wrong about that. Like I don't know much about Angela. I'll be real with y'all. But yeah, Angela just has a pretty cool design. Nothing crazy. I know, like by this game standards, like she's an absolutely nutty design because she's damn near naked while also being very like fit. Okay, fit's understood, while being very muscular. She has a really cool design. Her effects and her abilities from a visual standpoint are just kind of meh in my opinion. Like okay, the hot take. She's hard carried by the fact that she's a very attractive woman while being very muscular. Like she's hard carried by that. Everything else from a visual standpoint is just kind of meh. That's just my opinion, though. If you disagree, tell me why. I'll read. I read if there are any comments on this video. I'll read all of them whenever I get the chance. But I think Angel just has a cool design. It's not a spectacular one, but I think it's just. I don't think it's spectacular or amazing, but it's just a cool design, honestly. Visually, that is her attacks and other stuff aren't that cool looking. Her ultimate voice line is cool. Visually, it's kind of meh. I mean, the visual of like a giant, like 7 foot woman slamming down on you might be scary to some people, but to others they might find that arousing. But yeah, moving on. Matt Murdock, Daredevil. Now I might be biased because I really like Daredevil. He's probably like the only other DPS in this game I enjoy playing. I used to be a Hawkeye main. I fell out of love for this character just because over time I just found him less and less fun to play. But back on topic, Daredevil from a visual. Wait, nah, I'm glazing. Hold up. Yeah, visually, really good design for Daredevil. I know some people don't like the aesthetic change for Daredevil because he does. Some might say, "Oh, he doesn't look like Daredevil." My only gripe of his design is this: it's not the shade of red his costume isn't the cause his costume is in this game isn't the shade of red I would like. It's like not pink and red, but it's not like a deep red like I'm used to seeing Daredevil having. It's not a deep shade of red, but I wish it was like the normal red he has in the comic books. I just looked up at my posters to get a good idea of like the type of red I'm thinking of, but those are the type of reds I would like on this design. That deep, not deep. I guess like a dark shade of red would have been better. This feels not muted, but it doesn't feel like the shade of red. Okay, enough talking about red. Visually, really cool looking. I like the effects on his attacks and all that stuff. I think his radar sense is very is well implemented in the game, and I like the fact that it looks like how it does in the comic books, making people all wavy and whatnot. I think that's cool. His ultimate, pretty cool. Overall, just a cool design. That's all I gotta say about it. Moving on, the last two characters, Gambit and Rogue, or Remy LeBeau and Anna Marie. Um, Gambit is gonna go into the cool tier if my computer doesn't freeze up for like 2 seconds. Oh, there we go. That was awkward. Very awkward to do. Yeah, Gambit. I'm gonna rank both these lovebirds at the same time. And no joke, I think they're like if I could rank them rank them like if they were just like the same packs like with Cloak and Dagger, they'd be both right here. But they're both there, so you get the idea. Gambit and Rogue. Really good designs. Like they didn't really change. Okay, they did change a lot design wise with these characters because it's NetEase games. They're doing their own take on the character. Design wise, pretty much perfectly. These are really good designs for both Anna and Remy. That's all I gotta say. Like effects wise, Remy's attacks look amazing. His animations are really well done. The only thing I wish they would have done is give him stubble. I think Gambit having stubble just fits him. Him being like clean shaved, just I don't know why I just don't like that as much as some people do like it. But I think he looks better if he has stubble, in my opinion. And then there's Anna Marie, his wife. Physically, like, physically, the devs knew what they were doing. They said, "Hey, she gotta be a tank." I bet. Let's reflect that in the way she's built because like she's a lot more she's a lot more toned in terms of muscle definition. If I should look at her Savage Land skin, maybe I'm tripping, but yeah, I don't really have a lot to say about these two characters, and maybe it's just because it's like 1:33 in the morning. But I think both these two characters just have really cool designs. Not amazing or spectacular designs, but just really cool designs. But this video actually might be shorter than the last two actually with how fast I did this. But yeah, that's the Marvel Rivals design ranking. Only took me 3 months. Hopefully, only took me 3 months and not 4 months to do this entire series. But yeah, that's all the characters ranked based off design alone, not gameplay design or how well they do in competitive, how well they are competitively. Because I'm not a competitive player. The highest rank I've been is Diamond 3, Diamond 2 recently. So I'm not like a competitive player. I play the game casually. But yeah, but yeah, that's all the characters ranked. This is the list so far. I might upload this list on my YouTube post, just going this is my ranking for all the characters from a design standpoint. Once I figure out how to like screenshot this, because I don't do PC stuff like this 24/7. But yeah, that's all the characters, and unfortunately, actually, not if I remember correctly, in the last video I said this. Hey, hopefully the rest of the roster will make it into the higher tiers. The only character to make it into the amazing tier was Ultron. Everyone else was just slapped into the cool tier because they're all just really cool designs. Not amazing or spectacular like T'Challa, Ultron, Clint, Ileana, or Stephen Strange, not Steve Rogers, whose full name is Stephen Rogers. But yeah, and that's not a bad thing. Like I know some people might look at this thing, oh, only one character had a spectacular design. That sucks. When like that's not a bad thing. There's nothing wrong with designing characters, and most of your characters have a cool design, and a handful have amazing designs, and one character has a standout design. There's nothing wrong with that because that's more common than you may think. There are plenty of series out there where one character has the standout design, and everyone else has a pretty cool design. The one series I could think of would be Jujutsu Kaisen or JJK. Like some of the characters in that show have either just all red designs, pretty cool designs. Some might have an amazing design, and there's that one character that has a spectacular design. In my opinion, that character being Sukuna when he's like full power Sukuna. That is a spectacular design in my opinion. Really simple but effective. Really simple but effectively done. Everyone else in that show has like a cool or an amazing design. But we're not talking about Jujutsu Kaisen. But yeah, this is my ranking for the Marvel Rivals characters from a design standpoint. I might do a future tier list video. Not on this though. I remember the last video I said I might do a costume ranking, but I'm not doing that. That I don't get the patience for that either. Sadly, I might make a YouTube. No, I'm not gonna make a YouTube short on that. But yeah, that's the video. One last scroll so y'all can see where everyone's at. Get rid of this ad. But yeah, Namor is the only character in the not it tier, and honestly, out of everyone in this game and looking at it, yeah, he was gonna be in this tier. Design wise, he's just not it. But yeah, that's it, and have a good evening or day or whatever when y'all watching this. I'm going to sleep.